folks are listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke, joined by Jason Shearer. We have a lot to get to today. We're going to talk about decommitments. We are going to talk about coaching changes. We are going to talk about a lot of different things. The first thing we need to talk about, Shearer, before we get to the coaching changes is Robert McDaniel, who is probably the most high-profile player remaining in Arizona's class, has decommitted, and he will be going to UCLA. Robert McDaniel, this broke last night. With Robert McDaniel, what say you, Shearer? This was a move that I think people expected, but it always stinks.
Yeah, it stinks. And look, we are very critical of Brent Brennan on the show once or twice. But this was like, I almost wonder, I don't think there was anything else that he could have done. Like the kid's even quoted, I have quotes from the kid from Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, he said he woke up with the intention of signing with Arizona, and then it all just kind of fell apart. He's lying on one of those parts, but it's a situation where he decommitted. I get why he decommitted. But I'm not sure at the same time that there's much Arizona could have done over the last.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat them up on this one. Listen, you ideally have a quarterback coming back. Listen, and when Tino Sunseri gets in your living room and tells you about all the NFL players that he developed as a GA at Alabama, I mean, that's going to be overwhelming at some point. It's just that's just going to be the way it is. But not to worry though. We have Luke Haugo still in the class as well, split time, and Gilbert. But now let's get to the bigger news here. The Arizona coaching staff. There are some things that we know. There are some things we don't know, and there are some things that we are going to speculate on. The first one that we're going to we know is that Dino Babers is out as offensive coordinator. Not only is he out as offensive coordinator, he is he does not exist on the U of A staff anymore.
He deleted his entire profile at Arizona Athletics. Like, this never happened. Dino Babers was never here.
Right.
That was the easy move, right? Like, I'm just glad they didn't bring him back as quarterback coach or something like that.
Something. Just move.
Yeah.
Move. You got your $500K move time. Sometimes it's just best to move on.
Yeah, and he's on a 1-year deal, and yeah, good.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I didn't see Robert McDaniel reach for the U of A hat and went under it for the UCLA one.
Yeah.
That's a really crummy move, dude.
And I'll say this, I got some more information yesterday on this, and it seems to be, let's just say it was a very aggressive agent who changed things at the last minute. And how wild is that? Recruits have agents now.
Yeah, no, exactly. And this was put out there earlier on Twitter, but if you have an agent, and I don't have any sympathy for kids saying they got screwed out of NIL in this day and age, because you better have something pen to paper at that point. If you don't have something pen to paper, then you got no leg to stand on. It's kind of like with the UNLV quarterback, so it just is what it is.
And it's changed now because we had the recruiting lunch the other day, during signing day, whatever. And I was at the table with our girl, Erika Barnes. And she was explaining to me, you sign, there's no longer an NLI. It's a financial aid sheet. And now you're signing a revenue sharing sheet.
Right.
Which means that you're getting a part of the revenue. So that is basically your NIL money. Right. Now you're doing a revenue, and you have to sign 3 papers just to sign with the school.
Yes, exactly. So again, you've got to be able to. Schools also aren't stupid here. They know that they've got to be able to cover their behind here. Yes, Robert Metz. We need somebody who utilizes Cade and Luke to the fullest. I couldn't agree with you more on that one. We will get to that here in a second. All right, now there is going to be a new offensive coordinator in. We're going to speculate about some names that we were talking about. But first, like I said, Dino Babers is out. Matt Adkins will at least be the tight ends coach. Josh Oglesby will obviously, looks like everybody's going to be back except for the offensive coordinator, Jason Shearer.
Yeah. There is some intrigue, and I don't know if Brennan's lying or not, but I asked him if position coaches would move on if the new coordinator wanted it. And he said that he's open to it and he wants to talk, because look, if you hire I don't want to name specific coaches. Bobby Wade, whatever. But if you hire a wide receiver coach as your OC, does it make sense to keep Bobby Wade on as well? You got to kind of figure that out.
Well, right. But Dennis Walsh also makes a great point where we could save on a little bit of money here. Benwan White, special advisor to the
Yes.
tight ends.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, exactly. I think we could maybe talk about that with Benwan White later. Okay, now some name. Or let's get to the let's get to the let's get to the defensive staff then. The possibilities that are all coming out of this. Here is what we know, and we're going to get to Danny Gonzalez a little bit later on in the show. But Danny Gonzalez will stay here. Basically, Dwayne Aquina is going to be moving to the secondary role. They are looking for a new defensive coordinator. We're going to talk about that more in the third segment. But sure, I'll put it to you like this. I don't know that promoting from within is going to win the press conference. I also don't know that they necessarily care about that.
I don't think they care about that. We're going to find out. We're going to find out if they care about that based on the moves, right? I like Aquina to secondary. Obviously it's a big win to keeping him, but now all of a sudden you have him, Viney, RC. It's another thing where Brennan said some stuff is going to have to kind of move around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, you can have as many coaches as you want, but only 11 can recruit. So they could keep all these dudes, but some of them can't recruit. I don't know.
But there's going to be something that is going to there's going to be something that moves. Now, I am excited though, at least that there will be a new offensive coordinator, and this is with no disrespect to Matt Adkins.
It is with disrespect to Matt Adkins.
But it is with disrespect to Matt Adkins.
Whenever someone says that, it's absolutely about disrespect.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's like well,
no really offense. No. I'm trying to offend you.
I know. No offense. It's like, it's like you were one pathetic idiot. No offense. Oh, none taken. But with you couldn't bring back Matt Adkins as the OC. If you had brought back Matt Adkins from the OC, that would have been probably the most tone-deaf move of all time. Let's speak about some names that are out there. Now, Brent Brennan did hint. This is on me, Kevin Thomas. I should have had a graphic put together about this. I do apologize. I do apologize, Kevin Thomas. There are some names that we are going to speculate on. We're going to speculate heavily on Monday if there isn't already an OC. Now, Brent Brennan did say that he did believe that there would be that the coach they're prioritizing is coaching this weekend. Now, we can start with the obvious, the elephant in the room, Rich Rodriguez.
Yes.
Rich Rodriguez is coaching this weekend. Very, very good. Now, I would be stunned, and again, this is for all the ASU lurkers in there. I would be stunned if Rich Rodriguez is the offensive coordinator, mainly because he is a head coach. He makes over $1 million a year, and he's right in the running for the West Virginia job, who they should hire him, by the way.
Look, Rich Rodriguez makes, like you said, I think $1.1 million, 1.1. Mm-hmm. He'd have to take a pay cut. If not, look, there's no one in the United States of America, the world, that wants Rich Rodriguez at Arizona as much as you and I.
Oh, no, there's not. There's not. It's impossible.
Offset at least $400 of his contract to get him here.
And I mean this too when I said that I would, if Rich Rodriguez was the OC, I would say no criticism of Brent Brennan for 3 years. 3 years, all peaches and cream, fruits and creams. I
think we need to be honest with people, Mike. As much as we want it and we're pushing,
very unlikely.
It's not going to happen.
Yes, it's very unlikely.
So we've now shifted a little bit. What about Rhett Rodriguez?
Red Rodriguez. Now, what do we make of, and we're going to get to serious names here in a second, but what do we make of Brent Brennan following Rich Rodriguez on Twitter, though, Jason L. Shearer?
I honestly just think I think they're going to talk for advice and stuff like that, or maybe he's just seeing who the next West Virginia coach is going to be.
Interesting. Okay, now let's talk about some other names that won't happen, and then we'll get to some real practicalities. Dirk Cooter. Listen,
I didn't know you wanted to kill this so early.
No, I don't want to coach. I don't want to kill it so early. But Dirk Cooter, I'm just saying I would like Dirk Cooter as the offensive coordinator. Cooter time. But he's a good coach. He is a really, really good. He's a really good coach. Oh, Jacob Franklin's messaging me right now. Buzz off, Jacob Franklin. Yeah, buzz off. Okay, but we would like it. We're going to let this run for the next about 18 hours, but probably not going to happen as well.
We have it on very good authority that it's not going to happen. But we're just going to keep that here, and we're going to let this run on Twitter and stuff for the next. We're gonna push the Cooter.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Now, Jacob Franklin says, I'm going to tell Jacob Franklin to hop in. Okay, now, let's get to some names that are actually realistic here. And let's see, I'm saying it a wrong bit. Is it pronounced Cutter, by the way? You say it's funny. What do you mean? Everybody's making fun of my pronunciations of names.
I just started a thread that said bad news for Cooter fans.
Did you really just do that? Did you really just put that out there?
Should I bad news for Cooter fans?
No, not yet. Put wait for a little while. Okay, but either way, before we get into some realistic, and again, this is on me. Kevin Nell Thomas. We should have had a graphic for this. Very apologize. But before we get to any of that, let's pay some bills. Branded bills, baby. Branded bills. Branded bills. All right, now, Sheer likes something when he continuously lies about it.
Yep,
Sheer has been lying for the longest time that he was going to get branded bills. He is not getting branded bills. This is true, Jason L. Sheer.
No, I'll get one. I will.
Either way, don't be like Jason Sheer and actually head to brandedbills.com and use code PHNX for 20% off your first order. The great Kevin L. Thomas behind the scenes has branded bills. I think Kevin is a little under the weather. But at the same time, though, that is okay. Kevin L. Thomas, he has one, and he looks very, very good in it. Check it out. Branded bills. All right, now. Let's get the wave going. Let's get the wave. Woo!
Also a priority in the OC search. They got to know the wave.
They do have to know the wave. Okay. All right. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Everybody out there, what kind of experience is it? Come on. Everybody get in. Dude, there's not one wave in the chat yet. What a bunch of slackers.
Of course it would be you.
Dennis Walsh, Jordan C. Come on. Where are the waves? Where are the waves? Andy Bryant, come on. Oh, there's only 3 in there. Come on. All right. Now, either way, check it out. The Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Sheer, what kind of experience is it?
Fun.
And immersive. T-Burns 826, you are better than that. You need to be able to do better than that. The Gila River Resorts and Casinos deserves more than you. You can't just write out wave. Gringo Billy at least put something in there. Riley writes, my guy. Either way, check it out. The wave. Oh, look who it is. Oh, look at this scumbag. Look at this. Oh, gosh. Coming to us from Big Bear Lake. Hello, Jacob Franklin.
Mike Luke. You didn't say what I asked you to say. Can we? No,
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Michael Killebrew in there, by the way. Can we get the wave? Can we get a wave for old time's sake?
No. I'll only finish the wave if you say what I told you to say.
I'm not going to say it.
You asked
I'm rooting
me to
for
say
Iowa State.
Mike, I've said the other one multiple times.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make it right.
What does he want? What does he want?
Yo, Jacob wants me to say go Devils. I'm not going to say it.
What do you want?
Go Devs.
There isn't a world that is.
No, I like Iowa State fans anywhere. Anyway, why did he leave?
I didn't do it. That had to have been Kevin Thomas.
It's probably an avalanche because he's in the mountains in a ski lodge. So
all right, hey, we're talking about things that make Arizona fans happy. And obviously it's a coaching search. You're nervous about the coaching search, Jacob L. Franklin, because you know how quickly these tides or these waves can turn.
Yeah, I'm not really all that nervous.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And Brian Blackmore, we need to address something right here. And AZ Abyss is going to yell at me on the Wildcat Authority message board. But I do not care on this because I like Jacob Franklin. But not a Jacob Franklin fan. But I am a Jacob Franklin fan. All right, Jacob Franklin, give us your prediction on the game tomorrow.
It's tough. I really wish Jordan Tyson wouldn't have gotten hurt in a.
Hey, you want to hear something?
At that point.
Sheer and I have a theory on that. You want to hear something? I might get in trouble for this. But...
Oh my God, I can't believe this.
All right.
Jacob,
you know how
we got to, if we form it as a question, we're fine. Jacob, do you feel that we can add Jordan Tyson to the list of players Arizona has broken?
I'm just saying, horrible.
We break teams. We generally break teams, but we broke and if ASU loses, we broke ASU. We are breaking.
This is a little literal that they broke Tyson, so we were a little hesitant. But at the end of the day, you could go big picture, and if ASU loses, our bad.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, look at all these teams who were never the same after Arizona broke them. I'm just saying that maybe it's now stretching out onto the field. That's all.
Yeah. So, I am a little nervous, just a little nervous because obviously he's a big piece of what they want to do offensively. But I have full faith that Kenny, this entire season, has gotten this team up and ready for just about any game that they've gone through, except for the game that Jeff Sims started.
Oh, by the way, another year for Jeff Sims.
So, I have full confidence that they can compete. Like, it's not going to be a blowout in either direction. The defense is really opportunistic. I see ASU probably winning 28-24. I mean, I think Scat does what Scat always does and just kind of beats that defense to death.
We would have both voted for Scat for Player of the Year in the conference. Jason Elshier, this is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Who won? Hunter won, right?
Hey, do you guys remember when you had me on and you said, serious question, how many first-team Big 12 players does ASU have? And this was before the season.
Yeah. How many did they have post?
2? 3?
Did they? Tyson?
4?
No.
4. No, it might have been 4 because I think Xavier Alford, Tyson, Scat, and there was one more. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right. Now, AZ Wildcat fan put it very, very well. Jordan Tyson would be healthy if Jacob Franklin did not invite Mike and Shear to Chicken and Pickle. That is, I do wonder if you do have a little bit of say in the game there, Jacob L. Franklin.
Apparently, I wasn't invited down to any of the watch parties this year. Never got a text directly, so
yeah. Well, I know what happens with you. Yeah. That mail got lost in the mail, my friend. Yeah, Dennis Walsh, the great Dennis Walsh says we are all Cyclones. Okay, Jacob Franklin,
you're the predictions. What are your predictions before I get out of here?
All right, I root with my heart, and I'm not putting together the rooting guide anymore because every rooting guide sucked for me. Every team I rooted against did well, and every team I rooted for sucked. So no more rooting guides. But I will say I am backing the clone. I am going 28-24. Good guys, Iowa State.
The problem I have here, Mike, Iowa State's run defense isn't good. It hasn't been good all year.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, though. We can still go with our heart. Go with your heart.
What are you doing? Sorry, I just got a crazy text. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Sorry.
He just rebooted on the show.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
28-24.
Iowa State 27-24.
All right. We all like Iowa State in this, including Jacob Franklin. You're dismissed, no. Jacob Franklin.
Wait. Can we get a my bad Joe San say none?
No, absolutely not.
No, absolutely not.
His agent would never get anything out of us.
Yeah, no, his agent's a putz. That's why he gets nothing out of that. And I am in your head, Mr. Agent, as the kids would say, cope. Oh, by the way, real quick, Jacob Franklin, then you got to go. But you are a Gen Zer, correct, Jacob Franklin?
I'm in 1997, which is like, people don't really know which one that falls in. It's sometimes in one, sometimes in the other.
What is the lamest Gen Z term? Cope, rent-free, or don't know ball?
I must not be a Gen Zer because none of those ring a bell.
Sure. You see this all the time.
All in my generation, Mike.
Okay, all right. Kevin L. Thomas, which is the what is the worst out of all those things that you're responsible for?
I'm responsible for none of them, but I would take.
Well, not you, but your people.
Because I saw your tweet. I actually don't mind any of those phrases. Like,
they're all terrible.
Cope makes
anytime
sense.
Anytime there's an argument, somebody just says cope.
No, I think it get overused, but I think in general the term cope is fair. Like there are a lot of takes you see on Twitter that are just fans like coping with a loss. Like that's fair.
But they just use it all the time though. Rent free cope. They're like, somebody here's how this always happens. Somebody will tweet at me and say neener, and I'll disagree with them, and we'll go back and forth, and then they'll just say rent free, even though they tweeted at me. Oh, rhyme. Jacob L. Franklin. Bet sucks too. Good job there, Dennis Walsh. Bet sucks as well.
You can kick me out, KT.
Okay, now Jacob Franklin, you will be back with us on Monday to talk about a loss, hopefully.
No.
Okay, TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Yes, all right, that loser. Okay, Sheer, let's get on to some things. Let's get on to the offense and what Arizona needs to do. Listen, Noah Fifita, the first thing you got to do is you got to correct Noah Fifita. Kevin L. Thomas has a graphic here about the massive move back from Noah. I almost said Noah L. Fifita. From Noah Fifita. This wasn't good. The first priority for this entire team is Noah Fifita was broken by Arizona football. We need to unbreak him.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need to unbreak. We need to reverse the break.
We break our own players. That's how good we are.
Hopefully that's what the OC is able to do. And it does, to Brent's credit, it does sound like a priority is to unbreak Noah Fifita.
Well, I would certainly hope so. Okay, now, let's talk Brennan Marion. Brennan Marion, very, very interesting. I like Brennan Marion. Reminder, 2023 is with 3 less games. That is very, very true back the A-Ray. Brennan Marion, I would be all in on Brennan Marion. Brennan Marion, the first guy, I think the first OC I've ever seen with a full neck tattoo. That would be fantastic.
Now, here's a little pushback for me. I like Brent Marion.
It's Brennan Marion.
Brennan Marion. I think people are going a little overboard with him.
Yeah, I agree. And the market seems to be dwindling a little bit for him. Very curious.
There's a little, and here's why. He basically runs some sort of the triple option. Does it work at this level?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then I always wonder, you have
skier hedge loading. Oh, skier hedge loading. We
got a hedge. I always wonder, like you mentioned, why can't this guy get a Utah? Why can't this guy get an Oklahoma? Why can't this guy, you know what I mean? Like all these schools are passing him up. So it's kind of like, I always wonder why.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, who's the guy that you sent us in group yesterday? And by the way, again, I do apologize, Kevin L. Thomas. I should have had a graphic for this. This is my fault. Now, we've already said the Dirk Cooter, Rich Rod, probably not options, although that would be fantastic. Now, Jason Scheer. Let's talk a little bit about some other names, perhaps, that because, again, Brent Brennan said, although that'd be the most Arizona thing ever to say, that not contact a coach and think that they've got the guy, and the guy's like, no, I'm going to Michigan, dude. Nice try.
Sorry, I was just looking, Mike. No,
and Eric Bieniemy is not the option. I know you're not.
Quarterback just entered the portal. One of their co-starters, Diefenbach, moving up.
Oh, my gosh. Emergency podcast. Oh, hey. Hey, Kevin L. Thomas, are you? Oh, I got to text Shane. Keep talking. Bring up some names. Bring up some names, Scheer.
Yeah. I mean, overall, you take a look at everything. It's going to be interesting. You could go air raid, like and I'm just saying this. You could go like a Rolo. I don't think they're going to go Rolo, but you could go like a Rolo. Or it sounded like Brent wanted balance because he said pass and run as well. So that's something I think you keep an eye on. It's got to be good for Noah, but Brent's going to want to run the ball. That's just who he is. He's more of a pro-style guy. Marion can run the ball. That's intriguing. There's a lot of intriguing guys that are – now, we're also running a little too far with that, Mike. He hinted and said they could be coaching this weekend. That's not a guarantee.
Yeah, well, that's – hey, you know what that's called?
Hedging.
A hedge. That is called a hedge, my friend, a hedge. Yes, Kevin WN. I am not referring to you. I'm referring to the people on Twitter that keep asking me why not Eric Bieniemy, because he stinks. That's why. I don't know if he stinks, but he's not good at offensive coordinating. Okay, real quick. Kevin WN has asked many, many times, and I have apologized, how Scheer and I met. Well, first of all, me coming into Scheer's life was the best thing that ever happened to him. So I was still in college. I am a couple years younger than Jason Scheer. Oh, Shane, I know. Okay, dude, whatever. And I wanted to get started writing, getting into the industry. So we do a tournament that is taking place in Dominguez Hills in Compton, California, the lovely streets of Compton, California, and I am staying in Linwood, California, in a travel lodge. Not good. So anyways, I get there, and I get to the arena, and Scheer, who is literally called Fanboy 1 by every ASU fan, sees me in an sees me in a U of A shirt, and says, you can't be in here with that, man. You can't be in here with that. And he makes me go. I have to go and get a Fat Farm shirt that was a XXL because the only place in there was like an Urban Outfitters or something. And I came back with something that basically should have been worn by Shaquille O'Neal. Scheer, that was our first experience together. It sucked.
Didn't suck. Your street cred to the roof, dude. I taught you a lesson, and I think that to this day,
I don't listen to it. I still wear Arizona stuff wherever I go.
You are so much less biased now than you were back then. I mean, look,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You don't root for Arizona at games.
No. I like Bruce Pascoe. It's very.
You don't sit at basketball games with Muehlbach and cheer.
No.
You don't. Yeah, you don't scream out "wop wop wop" in the press box.
Right.
Like you are a professional.
No, I am a professional, and it was due to that. It was due to the fat. It was due to the fat farm, and I still have that shirt. By the way,
I thought it was FUBU.
Oh, no. It's Fat Farm. You got it wrong. You got your F's wrong. Or no, your PH's. It's a PH, not an F, my friend.
All I know is that you that night could have walked in the streets of Compton.
I did. I literally did. Okay.
That wasn't Compton, was it? It was like
no, it was Dominguez. It was Dominguez Hills. But
it was like Long Beach.
No. It was yes, Mike Luke, consummate professional. Yes. A tall T. What is it?
By the way, I want to get this out of here. Eric Bieniemy is terrible, and he's not coming to Arizona. He's going back to the NFL, where he could hide how terrible he is.
All right, let's refocus. Sorry. Yes, good job. I almost said Gringo Billy. Okay, now let's get back to. Hey, we need to have. Hey, you know what we should have for me? Kevin L. Thomas is actually good. We should have a graphic that whenever I get off track, it says let's refocus or like tamp down the ADHD, something like that.
Like across the screen, it just goes.
Yeah,
really
yeah. No, that's not a bad idea. Oh, one last thing, and then we'll get back to it. Some guy tweeted at me the other day, and he says, "I'm pretty sure you have ADHD." Duh. Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, no, it's hard to believe.
The news would have been if you said he didn't have ADHD.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks for breaking news. Guess what? Guess what? I'm not tall either. Okay, now, yes, ADHD flashing on the screen. That's not a bad. That's not a bad look. Okay, now back to other offensive coordinators though. Brennan Marion. Brennan Marion would be. That's kind of the same one. I do worry a little bit, but there's no doubt about it that he has been good at. UNLV, and even after that guy that. The quarterback that made up that he was promised all that money but didn't have it on paper left, they said, shoo, fly, and we're going to be even better.
That dude was better than Sluka. Yeah. I mean, we're going to know. You would assume if it's Marion.
Right.
We're going to know tonight.
What?
Will they play tonight?
Well,
not tonight, tomorrow.
Does Rich Rod play tonight?
Yeah, at 5.
Oh, hey,
Oh, I'll tell you something. Never mind.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Kevin, LJ Wombology, the show, hold on. The show would lose its charm if Mike's ADHD was wrangled.
Yeah, can you imagine if Mike's just like, hello, folks, thank you for joining us.
And now let us readjust back to the normal side. Yes, exactly. Okay, Sluka is back in the portal. Yeah, we don't want Sluka.
We don't want Sluka.
Yeah.
You know who we want? 7th year Jeff Sims.
Yes, we do. Now, Marcus Arroyo, not an option. But all right, now who else? Who else were you looking? You sent me something about the Marshall guy. Tell me about, or was it Marshall?
Yeah, I like that guy. It's Seth Dogie. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Seth Dorg.
Yeah.
Isn't there an R in it?
He's good. He learned from Leach. He also learned from Neil Brown.
Oh, your guy Neil Brown. Can we talk about Neil Brown?
No. Okay. And they have like 3 500-yard rushers. They pass the ball. I actually like him a lot. He was on USC staff with Brett Arcee for a couple of years, so there's some sort of connection there. I don't know if they still talk. He recruits a lot of the guys, or has recruited a lot of guys on Arizona's roster. They could do much worse. 35 years old, played quarterback. I actually think he makes a lot of sense.
Yes, he makes a lot of sense as well. Somebody young and dynamic, unless it's Dirk Cooter. Unless it's somebody like that. Here's where I'm at when it comes to the OC. I need something modern. And if it's not a young person, it's Prozac looking to sponsor the show. Be nice. If it's not a young person and it's an older gentleman, I need somebody though. Like I said, he's not going to get the job, but a Cooter would be the type of guy that you would want though, because he's been around. He's been an offensive coordinator. He's still very heavy in the game. That would be more than okay with it. Now, go ahead.
My qualifications are real simple. I want to know what the guy's running. I don't even care what he's running. I want to know what he's running.
So hey, wait a second. You're going crazy here. You want somebody with an identity.
Yeah,
you want an identity for Arizona football.
I don't care if it's air raid. I don't care if it's balanced like the Cooter. I don't care if it's whoever it is. I just want to know what that guy runs.
Yes, exactly. Now, also, Having an identity is crazy. Kevin L. Thomas, very funny in the background. Having a lot of fun there, Mr. Kevin L. Thomas. Okay,
now Brent, not like us.
Yes, exactly. Now, we're going to get into the defensive coordinator position in a second. But first, neutral. I mean, I always get bummed when Kevin L. Thomas isn't in here because I feel this should be his read, being that it's where Kevin L. Thomas was birthed. Kevin L. Thomas, I know you're from St. Louis. Were you birthed in St. Louis, though?
Yes, born and raised in St. Louis.
Okay, yeah, the Archway City. All right, just like NUTRL, born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. Check it out. Wow. Interesting. All right, now check it out. The weird. NUTRL, not weird. NUTRL's not weird. But either way, check it out. Keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch NUTRL flavored vodka and carbonation. St. Louis, Missouri. All right. Yes, that text is very odd. Okay, but NUTRL is not odd. NUTRL is very, very tasty. Okay, now let's also talk about something that we can all agree on that is not odd. Circle K.
Yes.
Brennan Mary.
The new OC, the first stop.
Circle K. Yeah, you know what? Now, do you think who do you think out of all these guys is most likely to go to a Circle K?
Brendan Marion.
I was about to say Brendan Marion for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
No
and Brendan Marion is going to any Circle K. That's what we like about him. I think there's some people that just say, oh, Mike Luke, that guy would only go into the 6th Street Circle K. Not true, my friend. I go once a week to the one on Oracle and Grant. And that is where it's at. Circle K for the people, by the people. They are in every neck of the woods because we like it. Okay, now let's go. Let's talk about Circle K, though. Sure, you were part of the inner circle. This is true.
Yeah, obviously, dude. Not only am I part of the inner circle, I recently went to the 2nd tier, so now I get more money off my gas than those newbies.
I do agree that the 2nd tier. Oh, nice. So you're part of the inner circle. It's like one of those trees with the rings. That
I'm all the way in that circle.
Yes.
Second circle.
Oh, are you part of the 2nd circle, Kevin L. Thomas?
Not yet. I'm working my way there though.
Okay, well, you will get there. But let's see. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Okay, now let's get to the defense here. The defense, this is where it becomes fascinating, Mr. Jason Shearer. All right, defense. We have, listen, Dwayne Aquina will be the defensive backs coach. There is going to be a new DC. And I think if the coaching staff had its druthers, which maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I think that they are going to choose Danny Gonzalez. Let's look at Danny Gonzalez's resume, Mr. Kevin L. Thomas. All right, New Mexico head coach, 2020 to 2023. Arizona State defensive coordinator, San Diego State safeties coach, New Mexico safeties coach. Granted, he comes to Arizona and he coaches a position he's never coached before, and he's the linebackers coach. Shearer, the linebackers and the special teams were not coached well this past year. I think it's difficult to say that they were, but maybe he's more at home being the defensive coordinator.
See, I might surprise you here. I'm actually going to put this on Brennan a little bit. You hired Danny Gonzalez to do 2 things he doesn't do, right?
Makes sense.
And so, like, let's say Danny Gonzalez is the defensive coordinator. You got to get him off linebackers. You got to bring in a linebacker coach, like 100%, unless RC can coach linebackers. I don't know. But you got to bring in a linebackers coach for sure and move and make him a recruiter and move off one of the guys as a non-recruiter, whatever it may be. And Brent obviously is bringing in a dedicated special teams coach because Danny Gonzalez, to be blunt, A, he's not a special teams coach, and B, they had bad special teams this year. So
yes,
maybe if you take Danny Gonzalez off the position coaching and let him be DC, it could change things.
Is this the most Arizona move ever, though, that you're saying that we need to revamp the staff? So what you do is you're like, you know what? Why don't we just promote from within?
Yeah. I mean, it's not what I would do, but my guess is that that's some of the thinking is let's rearrange it and put guys in their more natural position.
All right. Now, so basically, I think at this stage in the game, what do you got? You got more breaking news?
Yeah.
No, you can't have Antonio.
It's really bad, too.
Is it something you can break?
Yeah, I'm going to tweet it.
What is it?
Arizona offensive lineman Wendell Moe has entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, that's yep. I've kind of figured that one was going to occur. I mean, do you really blame him?
No, but
yes. I mean that, and
Wendell comments here in a second.
Wendell Moe is going to be able to go. Wendell Moe is going to You know what it is in this. Wendell Moe to me is the epitome of something that was just a massive indictment of the coaching staff. Because Wendell Moe looked last year like he was on the verge of becoming an NFL talent. And this year, he took a massive step back, Sheer. At some point, that's on coaching, because you just don't. I don't think that a guy like that just forgets how to play football.
Yeah, sorry. So in the plan for him was they were gonna. I don't know if he knew this, and that's why he's transferring or what. They were gonna try to move him to center, which I actually like. I think he is more like. Do you think Wendell Moe is an NFL guard?
Probably not.
But I think center is intriguing.
But
right?
I think he could be a center. I'll put it to you like this. I was talking with somebody on the staff that said he absolutely has NFL talent.
Yeah. So they were NFL scouts came, and I know this for a fact. NFL scouts came to practice and said that Wendell Moe should be a center.
Right.
And that was their plan. They were going to approach Wendell Moe with playing center for Arizona next season. They obviously need a center now. That is a top priority in the transfer portal. Sorry, Grayson Stovall, he's not going to be it. Look, they know they're going to lose some starters. There's going to be some other ones in there as well. So
that's a big loss. Plus, that's another one. Do we think he goes up to SRS? I bet he goes up to SRS.
I bet he does too.
Yeah. That's a big loss. Let's see here. Hold on. I will tweet something out that is very smart. All right, now let's talk a little bit now about I guess we'll go back to the offensive line here for a second. The offensive line losing Big Jonah, Josh Baker, and Wendell Moe. That's not good. That's terrible. Yes, I will not love every minute. Yes, that quote is going to be great. You'll love every minute of it. Sheer, that one to me is this one to me is bad. This one, I mean, again, I'm not surprised, but it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, we have different mindsets with the portal. It's not good. I'm not saying that at all. It's bad, but I'm just of the opinion that every team in the country is going to lose some player that's really good. Right. I mean, it's already started with some of the names that are in there. It's kind of like you're going to lose guys. One of our publishers, our national guys, put it best. It's not the early part of the portal is all bad. There's nothing good with the first week of the portal.
Because you're not adding anybody.
Right. Next week's going to be awful for every team in the country. They're going to lose someone that they don't want. It's how you replace those guys.
Right.
Now, can they get a player as good as Moe? Look, Moe wasn't good this year. You want to blame him? You want to blame Oglesby? Whatever it is. He wasn't good, Mike. I think we can agree on that. So, can you replace the Moe of 2 years ago? Probably not. Can you replace Moe last year? Yeah, probably. So that's the key. It's like, that offensive line is going to be rebuilt. I mean, it's going to look complete. This team, I said this before, and it's probably not a bad thing because we saw how it looked this season. This team is going to be dramatically different next year.
You know what? I actually like the portal. I think the portal is great, to be honest with you.
For business or in general?
I just like the portal. I like kids being able to go where they want. Honestly, I like the kid. Oh, breaking news: Wooten is leaving. Oh, don't tease me like that. That's Ron. You're being mean. I like. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Addition by subtraction. Wop, 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 wop. Here on the AZ Wildcats podcast, we celebrate guys entering the portal. But no, I like the portal. I like players because here's where we're at in this day and age. Coaches can lie all they want. I'm not saying about this coach or any coach. I'm just saying in general, coaches can lie about anything to a player just to get them there. Oh, you're going to guarantee to start. Oh, you're going to do this or you're going to do that. And nothing ever happens to that coach. I like players being able to enter the portal because you know what? It gives them a little bit more flexibility to give them the middle finger or to drop the F-bomb at them as our good friend Erika L. Day likes to do.
I don't mind the portal. The one thing I do mind about the portal is that what you're seeing is similar to like recruiting in general where, and I'm not saying this happened. Let's say Arizona has Genesis Smith on the roster, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, I'm coming back for sure. And Arizona has, and then all of a sudden Texas loses a safety. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, here's $1 million. Want to come play safety for Texas? Like there's no cap. I think there should be a salary cap in college football. If we're going the full employee paying and, revenue, I think because Otherwise, like teams like Arizona, like that. This is why Kenny Dillingham begs for money. Like I wish Brent Brennan and like
But you have to do that though.
You have to beg for money because like Sam Levitt's going to come back to ASU, but they're going to have to pay the crap out of Sam Levitt. Because,
well, did you see what Sam? No. Some people play for the love of the game. Did you see he gave all of his NIL money back to the Sons of the Collective Devils or whatever that term is?
That's good. I guarantee you he's getting money in other ways. Like in Jordan Tyson, they have to pay him. They don't have a choice because another school is going to come and get him. And like this, that's the one issue I have with college football right now, or one of the issues is that
hey, this was a random question, but we were talking about it yesterday, and I don't think our friend was in here. That was if we look at corners this past season, I believe that, and you know, I know everybody loves Tacario Davis; he's good, but I think MGK was as good as Tacario Davis this past year.
Tacario wasn't good, and again, you want to blame him, coaching, whatever. It doesn't change the fact that he just wasn't very good. He's not, and NFL scouts, like we talked about it, and where we learned this from, NFL scouts. They're down on him right now because and the problem he's going to have, Mike, is he's going to run the 40 and it's going to be like 4.6. And then they're going to put on the tape and talk to Dwayne, and Dwayne's going to be like, I like Tacario. Dude has the worst ball skills I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm not saying he's coming back, but if I was him, I would absolutely play one more year of college football and go get paid, whether it's Arizona or not. Like he turned down $600,000 from LSU and Michigan State. If he gets another $600,000 offer, I would take that before the NFL.
Take it. Yeah. Mario Mesa says, and that was actually a compliment to MGK. I'm excited about MGK next year. Okay. Now, let's see. Aren't they regulating it through? There will be a cap. I have no clue how that's going to work.
There's a cap in revenue sharing. There's no cap in a local car dealer saying, here's $1 million.
Well, that's why with Jed, that's why I do kind of like the cap, to be honest with you, or not the cap, because Jed complaining about Oregon having way more money than them makes me happy every time he complains about it.
Yeah. And because look,
no, it does. It makes me, I'm petty. I like it.
I love when he had the quote where he's like, you know, it was after, I don't remember who they played.
Oh, no, it was Ohio State and Oregon, and he said that's a $40 million roster.
When they played, he's like, I watched that game, and I saw two $20 million rosters. Hey, man, you're in the big leagues now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you signed up for it, man. You signed up for it.
I love because, look, with the transfer portal, if a coach could leave, why can't the kid, right? And it gets a little bit stupid with some of these dudes that are on, like, their 8th school in 8 years, right? But at the end of the day, if they want to go get paid, they have a right. You can quit your job. You can quit your job right now, Mike, and go work for the Sun Devils podcast. You and Totri. Be cute.
Oh, man, that would be great, man. The little guy, one of the few situations where I walk in and I look down on a young lad.
That was still, once in a while, I think about Big 12 Media Day, and it's still one of the funniest things.
Right. No, exactly.
That's why it's taller than you and then stood next to you and you were like 3 inches taller.
Well, that's why it's funny when Rich Carrillo talks bad about me and he tags Totri in it and he goes, oh, the puny Mike Luke. I'm like 3 inches taller than him. Very, very good. Okay. Now, we're going to get to the lovely Erika all day here in a minute. But first, we have to talk about something that this offensive line needs. Sanderson Ford. Can you imagine? Listen, we've lost our entire team essentially on the line. We have nothing coming back. Why not just put 5 Sanderson Fords out at midfield and say, let's see you guys beat this? Shearer, are you against that?
Against winning? I don't understand the question.
Again, exactly.
If you put Ed Oliver at Houston versus Sanderson Ford, Sanderson Ford's winning every day of the week.
Oh, every single day of the week. And you know what? Ed Oliver probably wishes that he got to cruise around in a Sanderson Ford, but he doesn't. All right. Get 2024 F-150 trucks with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back. Similar savings in over 900 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot. Plus, get an additional $1,000 Amazon gift card on Bronco Mach-E Lighting F-150 and Expedition on Black Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Ford F-150, a Sanderson Ford coming to an Arizona stadium near you, my friend. Girth, strength. When we get Sanderson Ford, we should just have, like we do at the Wave, we should just have some people just start saying girth. And game time, Jason Shear. Jason Shear, this is your read.
listen, when you need tickets to a game, you're at the Alamo Bowl. There's a guy next to you. He's not even worrying. Like, how can you not worry? He goes, Shear? He knew my name. I've got the Game Time app. And you know what? That gentleman went to the game using the Game Time app and bought his tickets a half an hour before.
And there's just something I don't know what else to say. Take the guesswork out of, like this young man did, or maybe I don't know if he's a young man. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account like Erika Elday did, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code. Spell out PHNX. Oh, I'm not supposed to read that. PHNX for $20. Download Game Time. What time is it? Game Time. Okay. Now,
by the way, real quick, Mike, we're in the wrong direction because I know you're going to bring up, or we already brought up defensive coordinator. There's one very clear option here.
Kevin O'Neill,
linebackers as well. Who? Mike Shear at UNLV.
Oh, Mike. Hey, why isn't Mike Shear an option?
No, we're going to make it. His name's Mike Shear.
No, I know. Can we get that? Can you tweet out right now? Tweet out something and say, this is a name that I would keep an eye on, that I would pursue.
Yes.
Yeah. Do it right now. Do as you're told.
How does Arizona not hire Mike? How do you spell his name?
It's like Mike Shear or something like that, but it's Mike Shear. That reeks Mike L. Shear. That one speaks for itself, though. That would work. Okay, now, did you tweet it out?
Yeah, just now. Is he girthy? I gotta look.
Yeah, no, I'll tweet this out as well. Okay. Now, we're talking about revenue sharing and everything. Oh, by the way, if they hire him and the Shear will terminally be referred to as Skier, we could call him Mike Skier.
I'm willing to accept it. I would be Skier because you can't confuse me with the defense coordinator.
Yes. Mike Skier. Mike Skier, baby. All right, yeah. This
is our last show before next week, so I want to warn people here. It is going to be a disaster throughout college football next week. I just want to caution people, don't flip out no matter who Arizona loses.
Yes, exactly. Because guess what? We can always lose more. Look at it that way.
Yeah, no.
And we've lost, we can lose more.
You're right. And honestly, you're right. And it's always about how you're playing. Like the problem last year, Mike, wasn't that Arizona lost whoever. Who's the guy they lost to the portal?
Well, who didn't they lose? Jonah Coleman.
Right. It wasn't that they lost Jonah Coleman.
He's coming back, by the way.
Yeah. It's that they replaced him with an ineligible guy, right? Like it's not that they lost whoever. It's that they price hawk, right? It's that they replaced him with Emmanuel Carnley. No offense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's who you replace a guy with. Like they lost, if you're going to lose a player, you got to replace him with a good player.
How about somebody they lost, Russell Davis?
Right. And I'll tell you right now, there are actually only a few guys that I would freak out about losing. I can name them.
Dick Wilson. Look at Dick Wilson. This is great. Dick Wilson says, "Can we lose coaches?"
Who would you be upset about losing
on this team?
Yeah, I would say Manu would be upsetting.
Noah would be upsetting.
Genesis. Noah. And Chris Hunter.
Jeremiah Patterson. But that's just for
four guys, right?
Right. Yes, exactly.
4 guys on the entire roster, right?
Yes, exactly. Dalton.
Stukes, Gunner, Dalton.
Stukes, all those guys as well. Yes, but Hunter, there are some.
Hunter's up there for me.
Hunter is for sure up there. Ricino's another good one as well. I
like him, but at the end of the day, are you is he not replaceable? You know what I mean?
I'm not saying. Well, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Burnett, honestly, I love Burnett. I wouldn't be that upset because he hasn't produced yet. And he knows that.
And when you got Sam Olsen in front of you, I mean, but let's be honest here. If you got Sam Olsen in front of you,
they're bringing in Ford. I think Kellen Ford is good. By the way, if you don't sign a deal with this dude,
Sanderson Ford.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I know exactly. It's a big mistake. Okay, now let's talk with somebody that deserves her own segment, and she has thoughts on revenue sharing as well. For maybe the reason that Arizona women's basketball is not doing as well. Hello, Erika Elday, the lovely Erika Elday. How are you doing, Miss Erika Elday?
Good. I had many jokes prepared, but you guys moved on from all the jokes that would have made sense. So
I know one player that the three of us would be upset if they lost. Erika will be brought to tears the minute Justin Flo announces his transfer next week.
Ooh.
And like it's imminent. Like I know it's coming.
It's
You've told me on this show before, so I'm allowed to say it again, right?
Can we keep?
Like, I'm not
can we
getting in
keep
trouble.
Paulina Paris?
I sure hope so.
Okay. Yes, we agree on Paulina Paris. Okay.
because of
All
her
right.
basketball skills.
She's very good. Okay, now, Erika L. Day, you were telling me on the phone today that Arizona basketball struggles have to do something with NIL and payment of players. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, and I talked about this a little bit earlier in the season, but like it's becoming next to impossible to compete with the SECs of the world, and even Big Ten schools are really beating Arizona out on kids. I mean, they just had a 5-star recruit that has pretty much been committed to the University of Arizona for the last 2 years, and Auburn offered $250,000 a year. And how does the kid say no in that situation? I mean, me personally, I'm not saying no. So see, guys, everyone's paying for
More F-bombs, please. A $5 super snap from LJ Wombology.
I have a question for Erika, though.
I'm listening.
How many 4 or 5-star recruits are on Adia Barnes' roster right now?
4, 3.
Mike,
Aren't there
Aren't there like 3 5-stars?
Yeah, there's like 3 5-star players. Like, what are we complaining about?
Yeah, I get it.
I will say this: every game that Adia's lost so far this season, she's been without at least one of those 5 stars. And I don't like using that as excuse, especially after the season they had last year, where they had at times only 6 players available. I mean, it's kind of hard to complain about injuries when you now have a full 11 or 12 person roster. When just one short year ago we had 6. But that said, like this is still a really young team, and I expect a lot of close games to not go their way this season just based on their youth. And the if is the big part of this sentence here, if Adia can keep the group together, they win those close games next season. But this year is going to be a long season.
All right. Now, here's the question that I have that we're ignoring. I'm looking at the NAU and the GCU rosters, and I only see 3 McDonald's All-Americans on each team.
Okay, but are they all fresh, or are they all
No, I was
seniors,
just kidding.
5th years?
Erika, that was me being silly.
They're getting beat out by girls that are
ASU? That's my question. Is Arizona better than ASU?
Arizona is going to be the 2nd best school in basketball in the state this year.
Well, no, 3rd.
No, 3rd.
GCU.
You walked right in. Does Arizona Christian have a team?
Oh, the one in
they
what about
do
Ottawa?
actually.
Ottawa, Arizona. Do they have a team?
Oh,
hey, Eric. They only had 17 turnovers last night. I just want to make note of that. And but most of them were in the first half, so that was pretty rough.
Okay, so we're at least better than ASU in women's college basketball.
Maybe just not by as much as we normally are. Better than them.
Okay, all right. Now. So, but we're the 3rd best. Did we decide are we the 3rd or the 4th best team in the state? Because you have Ottawa and Arizona Christian.
Come on, give us some credit. You're being sexy.
Well, I don't know about Arizona Christian.
No, Arizona Christian's bad. We don't like that school.
We don't?
That's a little...
All right, I was going to say.
I said what I said.
Arizona Western Community College looks tough back the ARA. Okay, now, at what point then, okay, your good pal Kobe L. Thiel says, oh, are we talking about Adia? She's a fraudulent coach. Slap Kobe L. Thiel around.
By the way, when Adia does leave, the head coaching hire would be made in what, 8 seconds, Erika?
The UNLV guy, or
yeah.
the UNLV?
100%.
Yeah, I think it's a done deal. I mean, and
it's a done deal already.
Listen, I think the reality is that Adia is a very high paid coach, a top 15 in the country paid coach. And she hasn't had a top 15, team in at least 2 seasons and 2.5 seasons really. And so I think her job is getting progressively harder with the landscape of college athletics. And I don't think she's happy. Like, I think she's having a really hard time and losing I think it becomes really challenging when you have kids that have committed to your school for the last 2 years. They have one good game. Auburn calls and offers them $250K, and then you lose them.
How much of this though is also
becoming really difficult?
How much of this though is also running off good players though, like a Maddie Connor? I know that she's not her style, but I guess her style isn't good basketball players.
Here's the thing. I think that a player like Maddie Connor helps Arizona in games like last night, but I still rest my case on that Maddie Connor does not play 25 plus minutes here at Arizona just simply based on her style of basketball. And I think when you're playing fundamental basketball like women do, and as opposed to men, you have to have a style that meshes together. And Maddie did not play defense. You see it at TCU now. Maddie still doesn't play defense. And
but she's actually good though. She scores a lot of points.
They also average like 90 points a game. Arizona average.
They also have a huge center that's also 26 years old.
Good.
Like,
good.
That's good.
She's a grown woman playing in college. She's what's that guy at Utah?
Yeah, she's the
Cam Rising
of women's basketball.
She's the Cam Rising of women's basketball.
Interesting.
Why is the comments calling me sexist?
I'm not touching that. But anyways,
I would like to hold on. Ron does have a great point for once. UA can't play players anymore because the football program is losing money. This is the truth. And if the football program is going to suck, all of the rest of the athletic programs around it, with the exception of men's basketball, because it's an anomaly here at Arizona, are going to follow suit because unfortunately money talks, and we are in the day of age like where you have to play good players need to get paid.
And Sheer, I see you disagreeing. Sheer,
with
the howitzer from upstairs.
Revenue sharing, everyone's getting paid now.
Right.
But look, money is, I agree with money. You have to pay players and all that. But again, like, we're not like, if Arizona had next year, Mike had a backcourt of Braden Burries, Elijah Arenas, and they brought in Koa Pete, right? And then they lose and they don't even make the tournament. None of us are saying that, they just needed more money. We're saying
no,
it's Tommy Lloyd's fault.
Yeah, I mean, there are 3 McDonald's All-Americans on the team, if I'm not mistaken.
I just put Erika in a bad spot.
Oh, Erika Alday. Erika Alday is such a peacemaker these days. I like this new Erika Alday 2.0. Very fascinating, Erika Alday.
Right, she told me tomorrow she's going to the game and she's, quote, I will only have 4 neutrals. That's what she said.
Oh, I called Erika Alday yesterday during the game, and I'm sure she was in the middle of a neutral. This is true, Erika Alday.
I am neutralist at the women's games, unfortunately.
Ooh, that was very...
You know, I actually was talking about this yesterday. I think that since I've started sitting on the media row for the women's games, the sound levels have dropped like 5.
Why is
5
this?
out of 10
Reason
levels.
they're losing. The fans.
No, I'm serious. Like, it's not that there's less people. It's just that, like, when I would start screaming, everyone would start screaming, and now no one's like the starter.
I've got another Gen Z term that drives me up a wall. Besides the Kobe, besides Erika Alday, cope. We were on this earlier. Cope.
I was listening.
Red phrase. Okay, glaze. That's another one that they all say now. Glaze. Stop this stuff. Stop it now. It is all dumb. No more.
Are you
of these.
implying that I'm glazing right now?
Oh, I know. That's what Kobe L. Thiel is saying.
Oh, I wasn't reading the comments from that.
Yes. But... Yeah. Who does that guy know? That putz. Okay. Now going forward, we got like 1 minute left. Arizona basketball. All things are good right now. You're saying?
I'm not saying all things are good. No. In fact, I'm saying quite the opposite. I'm just saying give her a year, and what will she get the year is still to be determined. But I think if she stays a year and our players stay a year, Arizona is going to be really competitive in the Big 12 next year. This year is going to be a very, very long season.
Okay, Sheer, where can they find you doing your stuff?
Oh man, I was on fire. I was about to go deeper with this. Wildcat.
He's about to put me on a bad spot again, and I don't appreciate that.
No.
I literally called you yesterday, and I said, "Sheer, I'm just looking to be nice for just."
But that means that I could be mean.
Right.
I'm just saying, when has roster retention been a strength of Adidas?
Never.
WildcatAuthority.com. Wildcat Scoop Podcast with Shelby at your local Circle K with Brennan Marion. All of it.
And maybe you'll see Erika Alday hanging around the Gila River Resorts and Casinos with a neutral with the Sanderson Ford parked out front.
Recruiting offensive linemen, a.k.a. multiple Sanderson Fords.
With Benwan White also looking at the tight end scene.
A lot of tight ends in the portal. This is when Ben went.
I'm very busy right now.
Where can they find you, Erika all day on Twitter?
At Erika Lide, and sometimes tweeting from the PHNX Wildcats account, which I will be doing tomorrow during the basketball game. So lock in with us over there, where we hopefully get back in the win column.
Let's do it. All right, for Jason Shearer, Erika L. Day, the great Kevin L. Thomas behind the scene, we will be back with you on the post game tomorrow. You've been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.